And tonight on the Daily Wrap, Americans think Hillary Clinton should suspend her campaign as the investigation into her email server continues. Did President Obama give Joe Biden his blessing to run for president? And will it help or hurt his chances? And the day Megyn Kelly returns from vacation, Donald Trump takes to the Twitter yet again to attack her. This is the Daily Wrap, live from New York City. And welcome to the show, everybody. I'm Joe Concha, along with my co-anchor baby, my co-host. Sorry, it's everywhere. It just slipped out.
How long did you work on that today?
At least 7 hours.
Yeah, I figured.
The timing was incredible, and we didn't rehearse. See, this is all organic.
That was very good.
Well, thank you, Rick. And we'll be talking to you in a moment because you've been working the phones yourself today.
Yeah, I've been working myself today. Yes.
Fascinating. Can't wait to hear what that's about. It's big, everybody. So stick around, not that you weren't going to already. To his right, she's a Philly attorney and America's pundit in Hillary Clinton Orange. It is Heather Hansen, and she is back again. And finally, he's the editor of thewisdomdaily.com, and you're not, Brad Hirschfield. Thanks for joining us.
Good to be here, as always.
All right, everybody, let's get right to the daily download. Hillary Clinton now facing pressure to withdraw from the presidential race in light of her email scandal. But to catch everyone up on how she got here exactly into this big mess, let's take a look back.
The problem for Hillary Clinton that will not go away.
In a way, reminds me of the Nixon tapes.
I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email. There is no classified material.
Emails from Hillary Clinton's server contained classified information.
I am confident that I never sent nor received any information that was classified at the time it was sent and received.
Their review of just 40 of 30,000 emails found 4 of them had classified information.
Are you confident that those 4 emails were not classified at the time that you were transmitting them, sending them and receiving them?
Yes.
The messages were classified when they were sent and are classified now.
I'm certainly well aware of the classification requirements and did not send classified material.
305 documents flagged?
Right, that's pretty much what it means, Luke.
I did not receive anything that was marked as classified.
That, we are told, is not the legal standard.
I've never had a subpoena.
You did get one in March. Couldn't be more plain, the Honorable Hillary R. Clinton.
And you think the American public is that stupid?
The server will remain private.
Hillary Clinton turning her private email server over to the Justice Department.
She has insisted she was not going to turn over that private server.
The campaign continues to say that this is not a criminal investigation.
We decided to call the FBI. They said, all of our investigations are criminal.
I don't throw anything away.
Did you wipe the server?
What, like with a cloth or something?
I don't know.
Clinton has said she wiped the server clean.
You tried to wipe the whole server. You didn't have
I'm not, I have no idea. I thought it would be easier to carry just one device for my work and for my personal emails.
I have an iPad, a mini iPad, an iPhone, and a BlackBerry.
What I did was legally permitted.
Clinton private email violated clear-cut State Department rules.
This is the usual partisanization, which I may have just made up a word.
It's hard to claim this is all just a partisan witch hunt when the Justice Department under a Democratic administration is looking into the whole email mess.
It's not anything that people talk to me about as I travel around the country.
It shouldn't go away on the substance, and voters do care about it.
I recently launched a Snapchat account. I love it. Those messages disappear all by themselves.
Thank you all very much.
Job well done by the Washington Free Beacon. But before we get to the latest bad news, let's start with some good news for the former First Lady. In a Suffolk University poll released today, 54% of Iowa Democrats support Mrs. Clinton. She has a 34-point advantage over Bernie and a 43-point advantage over Joe Biden. More on him in a moment. Iowa Democrats are also extremely loyal to the former Secretary of State. 74% believe she didn't break the law regarding her email servers, but 52% believe the controversy will hurt her in the general election. And now the bad news. According to Rasmussen, Rasmussen. 46% of likely U.S. voters believe Hillary Clinton should suspend her campaign for the presidential nomination until all the legal questions about her use of the private email server are resolved. 44% disagree. 9% really aren't quite sure about anything. Also, a quarter of her own party thinks she should suspend the stumping until they get answers on whether she was legal or not. Is this the beginning of the end for Mrs. Clinton? Well, first, before we get to John Fund, I want to talk to Rick Unger, because money is everything in politics, or at least it plays a big role. So you're making some phone calls today, and you uncovered some pretty big news.
Well, as we're going to discuss in the next segment, we've learned that of the 770 major people who raise money for the Obama campaign, only 55 of them have been raising money for Hillary Clinton, which is somewhat telling. Well, I wanted to find out how those people feel about things if Joe Biden gets into the race. Well, I was able to speak to some of those people, and as it turns out, some very, very key fundraisers have said they will switch from Hillary to Joe Biden if Biden enters the race.
Amazing. Just like 2008, where Hillary's support was soft and they jumped to Barack Obama once he seemed to be the more viable candidate.
These people are responsible for raising so much money that it would absolutely be a blow to Clinton if that were to happen.
And symbolically as well, right? Just to lose those folks and for that to start getting out as loan. David Geffen, that was a big turning point, right, back in 2008.
It's just fascinating to me that this far down the road, and they've already been raising money for Hillary, that they would make that switch. Meaning it's not just a question of being loyal to Obama. It's a question of they actually believe Biden would be the better candidate.
Wow. Well, let's bring in John Fund. He is a Newsmax contributor to get his thoughts on this. John, you've covered many election cycles. What do you think about what Rick talked about? And do you think there's any shot in hell that Hillary Clinton will ever suspend her campaign to get legal questions answered?
Oh, highly unlikely. She's in this for the long haul. She recognizes how many people wrote off her husband during the scandals of the 1990s, and by sticking to his job and by just grimly marching forward, he survived and has a relatively good approval rating. If she were to leave the campaign, it would be a complete humiliation for her. She believes she can wait this out. She believes ultimately, I suspect some of her staffers might be in legal jeopardy, but she will not be.
John, Rick Unger, as a matter of politics, let's just presume, and I think you're right in what you just said, but let's just presume for the sake of argument that the Clinton campaign would even consider such a thing. There's absolutely nothing that I can recall in political history that would make me believe that somebody could suspend their campaign maybe 4 or 5 months while we wait for the FBI and then come back to it even with a clean bill of health. Wouldn't that be the same as dropping out?
Of course, and everyone would understand that. There's one small exception to that when Ross Perot dropped out for 4 months in 1992 and came roaring back in the last month, but that's a different set of circumstances.
Yeah, and he didn't suspend. He actually dropped out and then changed his mind.
John, it's Brad Hirschfield. Quick question. When she suspended in 2008, Hillary was only 12 points behind Barack Obama at that point. Now, it's true, she was way behind in the delegate count. There are now twice as many Democrats who are saying she should suspend as there were Democrats when she self-suspended in 2008. So it's going to be a long, grim march, but doesn't her past history suggest that she may well be dropping out?
She only dropped out or left the campaign in 2008 when it was absolutely positively clear Barack Obama had a majority of the delegates. This lady's not for turning, this lady's not for quitting.
And John, finally, during a press conference yesterday, Josh Earnest seemed to hint very strongly that President Obama would back his vice president over his former Secretary of State. I'm sure the Clintons weren't very happy about that, considering that Bill Clinton was just playing golf with Barack Obama last week. Bill Clinton in 2012 gave a speech at the Democratic National Convention that really pushed... I don't think John's hearing you. Can you hear me, John?
No, I think we lost him.
No, we lost John. Okay, we got to say bye to John then. Sorry about that, my friend. Let me finish that thought. 2012, Bill Clinton. We got him again. Okay, Bill Clinton, 2012. We only have about 20 seconds. Gave a great speech to the Democrats.